I get angry too. Trust me, I'm a road rage driver, I reckon, and I do have to calm myself down. We all get it. It happens. It's our bodies are designed this way. We all have the same emotions, except for some people that maybe
Oh, it's getting a little bit of feedback here for some reason. Yeah. Oh, that's
don't.
a
Okay,
bit better. Maybe it's coming through your speakers. I'm not sure. Um,
okay.
uh, you don't have headphones on now, do you?
No.
No. I think it's maybe right if
Mhm.
I'm not speaking directly into the microphone.
Okay.
Or if you could chuck the headphones on, might help.
All right.
While you're
I'll do
doing that,
that.
I'll just keep talking here. So
Yeah, sure.
yeah, try to avoid that little gremlin. Um, yeah, if there are any guys watching this, if there's one other thought or food for thought, and you do get jealous, and then you go and say the wrong thing to your girlfriend or your partner or whatever. Um, One, nobody likes being told what to do. Nobody likes being micromanaged at work. No, people don't like being micromanaged, and I certainly, I'm probably one of the worst. Like, I hate being told what to do. I really do. I'll be honest. And and particularly girls. Like, if you're younger, you start treating them like a possession, and you're saying accusing them of being slutty or other things, and what are you doing, tarting yourself all over everybody or something ridiculous. Just think, even just articulating it in the light of the day. How would you
Yep.
respond? How does that feel for that other person on the other side of the fence? So more often than not, some people are going to just rub it in your nose and go, right, that's it. I'm going to make it even
Yep.
worse for you. So you could really dig yourself a big hole. That's all I'm going to say on that one.
Yeah, no, 100%. Does that sound better for you?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. One of the models I use is something called the dialogue model. And the dialogue model, like at the moment, we're talking, it's dialogue. You're talking, I'm talking. I don't think we feel unsafe with each other. And usually, when people feel safe, psychologically safe, we can talk about anything. Um, so as part of the dialogue model, it talks about the conversation we're having, but then there's also a part in the dialogue model that talks about the conversation I'm having in my head while we're having this conversation, and you're having one in your head as you have the conversation. And in your head, again, red brain, blue brain comes into it, where if I pick up anything or you pick up anything that makes me feel fearful or angry, like I feel I'm threatened, I'll have a response in a red brain space. So that's the reality of it. So if you said, "Hey, why are you dressing like that?" This person goes, "I see and hear what he's saying. I feel a certain way, and now I act." So my action is, if I'm angry at you for having a crack at me, who are you calling slutty? Why do you think that? And you go, "Oh, now she's having a go. She just wants to be argumentative." And that's what you're having in your head, right? So now you've got two people who aren't happy and not feeling safe about the conversation because you're judging me and you are judging. So you're kind of angry anyway because there's the behavior that you saw that made you get angry in the first instance. You're already in red brain. You've now said something to her that puts her in red brain. And now you're both having a conversation in red brain. So you both,
Mm.
silence of violence is going to come out of it, right? You're going to have an argument, or you're going to go, "Oh, bugger this, I'm not talking to anyone." You go, silence of violence. So
Silence of
that that's
violence.
that's how it works. And so,
Yeah.
in a work environment, the same thing about, you know, we can only really get to proper solutions. And this is what I was even saying about the, things that happened many years ago. If I'm in anger, there's things that anger's not a bad thing. Anger makes you go, "That is not right. We need to fix it." No problem. That just sends you that message. But essentially, if you stay there and you're just angry all the time about everything in the world, I'm a dark person and the world owes me this stuff, and, blah, 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 blah. But I'm, as an individual, angry all the time, and I look for other people who are just as angry like me. um, you have issues. This stuff builds and builds and builds, and then lots of people get angry about things. So, from a solution perspective, it's about being in a blue brain space when we're trying to come up with stuff. If I want to,
Mm.
if I get angry too, trust me, I'm a road rage driver, I reckon, and I do have to calm myself down. We all get it. It happens. It's our bodies are designed this way. We all have the same emotions, except for some people that maybe have some different actual mental problems. But in terms of damage and stuff like that. But essentially, most human beings all experience the same emotions for a reason, and it's designed to give us just cues that, like I said, when you're stressed or when the cortisol levels come up, it's designed there for you to look for threats. In the savannah, something's not right. What's going on? I feel it. I can feel it in my belly, and we get this feeling because our bodies actually are our decision makers. It's not actually our brains. We can use our brains to make decisions, but a lot of times when you're in that moment, the body takes over. You don't even, you go, something's not right. You meet someone for the first time and you just have that feeling. You look at them and it's that unconsciousness that's picking it up and going, oh, something creepy about this bloke. And because the unconscious is non-verbal, it sends you messages through your body, and that's part of how those chemicals work, and then are designed to give us info in a non-verbal way. So understanding that's what it does, and then understanding yourself. It's like I do feedback sessions for people at work where you might have two people who go, oh, I want this person to stop treating me like this. You go, have you spoken to them? Oh, no, I couldn't do that, or I'm in HR, they come to me and say, oh, Clint, I want to tell you this story. This guy did this, this, and this, but I don't want you to do anything about it. I go, well, what's the point of telling me? I just want him to stop. So having conversations isn't always easy for people because there's that fear factor of, are they going to hate me? Are they going to treat me worse next time? And again, all those threats, people play around in their head. So if there's any perceived threat in it, they won't have the conversation. They go to silence on the outside of the conversation. And lots of problems stay that way because we don't deal with it well, because we're worried we're going to go into red brain and we're worried they're going to go into red brain, which is what happens a lot of times. And we have two people arguing with each other. But when you actually understand a bit more about your emotions, you understand why you're getting angry, we talk about why you're getting angry, we're actually creating the safety to have a conversation. This is one of the biggest issues with mental health and suicide prevention from my perspective is, we have Are You OK Day, right? That happens X amount of times and similar kind of awareness things. But the biggest issue is, why don't more people talk about their mental health? Because, again, those little, comments that people make, those little things that people have been told, suck it up, princess, when you're 5 years old and, you're struggling a bit and, oh, men need to be tough, or, oh, you're just being a sook, or, or someone is struggling with mental health and they hear about some other poor bugger who's been spoken derogatorily about it, oh, look at the nutter, or, and there's these little comments that stick in your head that again create a bit of a fear factor for you. So you go, I don't want to be called a loony or be called one of those derogatory terms. So you don't say anything. People used to come to me because I run mental health stuff at a lot of the workplaces that I've been, health and wellbeing programs, and talking through exactly what I'm talking about here. Lots of people have confided in me and spoken to me. And when I have team sessions that I run with it, I try to encourage some of the ones that have done that to talk in front of the other people in the group, because when it creates a bit more courage for people to say it. It's a bit like, the bloody Harvey Weinstein stuff, right? Once one woman came out and said something, all these other women came out. Now, you go, well, they were obviously all scared for various reasons, going to affect their careers, he's a very powerful man, all this kind of stuff. But it's no different with, we've got to kind of create that environment where people can be okay to go first. And then what it does is it shows the other people, you can go. It's okay. We can talk about it. The more we actually bring people, not just saying, are you okay? We should be talking about people that have had these experiences, that have been these positive deviants. I was in a bad place and this is what I did and I had to change my focus. And then guys like me can help with, well, do you understand why that helped? Because they did this, this, and this, and this was happening in their brain. So they're trying to change, reversing the gears and get the blood going back up there and using their... So all the techniques are there, but actually hearing people talk about it and actually doing this as a proactive thing for school kids when they're really, really young before. Because for me, a lot of this stuff is change management model stuff. You're trying to change what they've been doing for 40 years as an adult. But ultimately, if you've got a 5-year-old coming into school and they're getting treated badly by another 5-year-old who pulled their hair or something fairly low key, not totally bad, but still not nice, creating an environment of safety and getting everybody talking deliberately about things is calibrating the behavior. It's also showing the other kids you can go first. They've spoken about it, so you can go as well, and it's creating that safety to do that. And again, that calibration of what's good behavior and bad behavior becomes important, because then the group actually has more say. Because if you have a bully, most places that have maybe one bully, right? And there's lots of people affected by the one person, and they don't say anything because of that fear factor. They all see it, they all hate it, but they don't say anything because they go, "Well, it's not picking on me, so I'll just not be involved." I'm the bystander effect kind of stuff, where and again, the psychology that goes into those things with groups is a big part of it. Like, we can actually use the group so much more in a lot of ways. Like, that's one of the things I don't like about counselling, is it's generally one-on-one. So you only get to touch that one person. Hopefully you make a change and then it all works. But we can do a lot more proactive things that affects groups and involves the groups to deal with stuff better and help with the courage of it. When there's strength in numbers, like I said, that Harvey Weinstein stuff, those women all band together. They were a group, class action. They became friends, some of them, through the process.
Yeah.
Because it's support, and I think we can build more deliberate support at school level to help kids who obviously become these adults, like you and I. We're adults now, and like you said, we learn things along the way. There's no reason we can't accelerate some of that learning into the kids when they're younger. We don't have to talk about neuropeptides and all that stuff with them, but it's routines and stuff like that where we can kind of steer how resilient they become and how much information they get as they learn about their bodies, about their brains, about their mental state, about that unconscious brain, conscious brain, and how we can use all that stuff. To me, like I said, about the physical health, why can't we be doing this more? Why aren't we doing this more?
Yeah, 100%. And I just, I don't think it was last week. I think it was actually, might have even been last week or the week before. I had a couple of girls/ladies. I always get torn when people are kind of in that maybe late 20s, 30s sort of thing. Kind of girls, ladies, I don't know. But anyway, so